What's up, guys? I'm on my way to Parks. It's 3:49 p.m. I'm a little bit nervous because I've decided I'm gonna play 10-10 for the second time in my life today. You guys saw the first time I played 10-10. It went good because I had aces over jacks. I won $1,100, so I'm hoping today can go well. I've been running horribly. As you guys see, my last couple vlogs 6, 7, and 8 have all been horrible. So hopefully my run bad is out, and today is just full of run good. Hopefully I'll flop well, get some good cards, and I mean, if I could use a time to run good and play good, it would be when I'm playing the highest stakes that I've ever played. I'm gonna buy in for $1,500. You guys will see all the action, so let's head right into it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to vlog 9. I got an action-packed video for you guys. I played 10-10 no limit. It's the biggest game I've ever played by far. It's only the second time I'm playing it. Here are some action shots to show you that this game is big. For those of you who don't know, there are $1,000 chips in play. Yes, that big orange chip is $1,000. This game is massive, and I'm sitting down to take a shot at it. Let's get right into it. I'm going to show you guys the hands exactly as I played them throughout the session. So this was the very first hand that I sat down at the table. I hadn't even folded a dumb like 2-8 off hand yet. We look down at 7-8 of clubs. There's an open to $30. I'm in the small blind. I make the call, as does one other person. So we're headed to a flop, which comes the 4 of diamonds, 5 of hearts, and the 9 of clubs. So we don't have much of anything, but honestly, not a bad board for us. So I check, the next person checks, and the initial raiser bets out 30. I think this is a great spot to just float here, so I call, and so does the next person. We're headed to a turn, which comes the king of clubs. Here we go. Just the card that we needed. We're here to pick up some backdoor draws. We're here to get there on the river. Let's play a big one. I check, the next player checks, and now the initial raiser bets $200. So immediately I'm thinking he's got some type of ace, king, king, queen hand, and we can win a big one if we connect with a club on the river. If I call this $200, I've got about $1,200 left, so definitely could get all of it on the river if this player is incapable of folding ace, king, king, queen. So I decide to call, and surprisingly, so does the next player. So we're headed to a pretty juicy river, which comes the 7 of hearts. We make a pair, but obviously we're not good. I check, next player checks, and the initial raiser checks as well. And here's where things get crazy. Both players do not want to show their hand. So I'm looking around, and I audible, I have a 7.
Go down.
And both players throw their hands away. We are good with a 7. Our first hand here at 10-10, and we are good with a 7 on the river. This session is about to be crazy. Easily one of the craziest pots I've ever played. The very next hand I play comes about an hour later. I pick up 10s in the next position after the straddle. We're playing 10, 10, 20. I bump it up to 80, folds all the way back to the straddler who makes the call. We see not a great flop in queen, jack, 7. He checks, I check back. Think I probably should c-bet here, but think he's just going to have a lot of jacks, a lot of queens, so I check. Turn comes a 6. He checks, I check again, just trying to get the showdown. River makes it even worse, comes an ace. He now thinks about it, bets 90, and unfortunately we have to fold this hand. I think I played it awfully, but I mean, whatever, just a shitty run out, and we're on to the next hand. Alright, for this next hand here, I've got jack 7 of spades in the big blind. There's 2 callers, me and the big blind check, so we're headed 4 ways to a flop, which comes 4, 5, 9 with 2 spades. Very good flop for me. I lead right out for 30, and pick up the button and the big blind in callers. So we're headed to a turn, which gives us more outs in a blank 6, so we pick up a straight draw as well. And I decide to lead out for $60 here, and now just the button calls and the other player folds. So I'm wondering if I even really want to see a spade here. He definitely could have a higher flush draw. Definitely cause for concern, but we're headed to a river, which comes not the best card in the world, as he definitely could be calling with ace high flush draws, but can't be too scared of that. I decide to bet out for 140. Looks very strong to bet all 3 streets. I've been playing pretty tight, haven't been playing a lot of hands. So the button thinks about it for a while and folds, so I'm happy that I decided to bet all 3 streets and got the job done, and we're headed to the next hand. Alright guys, bear with me, the camera quality's bad here. I just wanted to show this hand as I pick up ace-9 of hearts. There's a raise to 30, one call. I decided to 3-bet this up to 150. I just sat down at the table pretty recently before this, and I was unaware that I was going to get not 1, not 2, but 3 callers of $150. I thought I was tight, but I guess I'll just have to tighten up and keep this in mind moving forward. Keeping that in mind, I do, as I pick up ace-king offsuit, see a raise to 60 to my direct right, and I decided to 3-bet to 210. I definitely think I should go a little bit larger, as I just showed people are calling a lot, but I didn't necessarily want a fold here. I wanted to play a pot post-flop, definitely thought I was stronger than the player that raised to 60, so I make it 210, and he proceeds with a call. We see a pretty good flop in queen 7-5. My opponent shouldn't really have too many strong hands here as I block ace queen, king queen. So when he checks to me, I decide to bet for $220, and he pretty quickly folds, and we take it down. Let me know what you guys think about this little ask section. I definitely like to get you guys a little bit more interacted, and just seeing what you guys would do, as I am always learning as well. Alright, so I forgot to pick my hands up here, rookie mistake, but I'll catch you guys up on the action. I pick up king queen suited of clubs in +2 position. I raise it up to 40 and pick up 2 callers. Headed to a good looking flop in queen 7-6 with 2 hearts. I decide to bet 110, the next player folds, and the next player decides to call. We see a beautiful looking turn in the king of diamonds, so now we have top 2 pair. There's a flush draw out there, some straight draws out there. My opponents are playing pretty crazy, so I'm not actually quite sure what he could have here, but I decided to size up to $220. Might be a bit big. It might not have mattered, as he decides to pretty quickly fold, so I'm putting him on some type of weak holding like queen 9, queen 10. Sucks we can't get a little bit more value, but it's alright, and we're on to the next. Got another fun one here as we look down at pocket 9s in the big blind. The straddle is on, so it's 10, 10, 20, so I'm in the $10 big blind. There's 2 callers of the $20, and it's back on me, and I want you guys to comment down what you would do. In the moment, I decide to raise to 100, and everyone folds, so we take down about $60 uncontested. Not too bad, as there's not really too many great boards with pocket 9s, especially if we go multi-way, so happy to take it down. Alright, here is the most frustrating hand of the night, and it's set up like this because I filmed long ways instead of sideways, so for the next couple hands it'll be like this, as I just completely messed up the filming, so I'm sorry about that. I think this layout is pretty cool anyways, so enjoy it. I pick up ace queen off, there is a raise to 30, and I 3-bet it up to 140, and I pick up 3 callers. And the hand already starts out a little bit weird, because I thought that there was only 2 callers, I didn't see the 3rd caller. So when the flop comes king jack 8, it checks to me, and I decide to bet out for 140, which obviously you guys see the pot is $580. $140 bet is just awful. I'm basically just begging to get raised. But it might have saved me money anyways, because if the button has a strong hand here as he raises to 340, if I bet bigger, I just lose more money as he would raise bigger and I have to fold anyways. But regardless of the sizing, I actually like a check here, as I have a lot of equity in backdoors. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this hand. Obviously, I'm not perfect. I'm still learning the game, so this hand was definitely one of the hands that I chalked up to be played awfully. And it shows as we lose $280 in this hand, and we move on to the next. For this hand, we pick up king jack offsuit. There is a raise to 60, 1 caller, and I decide to complete. I did want to get in a little bit looser on this table, as I did feel I had a massive edge on this table. There was a lot of people who were just looking to gamble, who didn't really care about money much, and I was looking to get in there, make some big hands, and get paid. We see a good looking flop of king 4-5 with a spade flush draw out there. I start with the check, and the action checks around. We see a beautiful turn in the jack of clubs, and now I lead out for 110. The next player folds, and the initial raiser calls, so it's looking good, as he possibly could have king queen, king 10, ace king, so we're looking for a clean river here, which we get in the 4 of clubs. Yes, it completes the backdoor flush draw, but I cannot afford to check this card. A note that I did want to make here is that this is a perfect card to bet fold on, and what I mean by that is You need to be betting here for value, as you cannot afford to check and have him check back with king, queen, ace, king and lose about $200, $300, $400 worth of value. So you can easily bet $200, $300, $400 to get called, and if he raises you, it's a pretty easy fold, as he could easily have kings, aces, a flush, or some sort of weak full house. Again, these games play pretty straight up, so I don't really see him having some kind of crazy bluff here unless he just has a naked ace of clubs, in which that would be a crazy bluff, and kudos to him. But this definitely needs to be in the bet fold range. I bet $310 and he pretty quickly calls. I turn over my king jack and he mucks, so we take in over $1,000 pot, and this session has been going great. Alright, this hand was definitely the hand of the night and one of the craziest hands I've ever played. So I'm in the big blind and I look down at king 10 offsuit. There is one limp, a raise to 50, I call, and another player calls. As I said, I definitely want to get in the action a little bit wider than normal because these people are playing pretty much anything, and I definitely felt I had an edge on the table. So we head to a pretty above average looking flop in king of hearts, 10 of hearts, 3 of clubs. I start off with a check. The next player bets 80 right into the initial raiser. The initial raiser raises to 200, and now I do something a little out of the ordinary here. Yes, I think you definitely should raise to 700 so that I could keep ace king, king queen in there and charge hearts efficiently. But I want to give you guys again a little bit where my head's at. So I had been playing for about 5 hours now. I'm literally at the tail end of the session, like I'm only playing a couple more hands. So I'm thinking I'm going to be really frustrated if I raise to 700 and then see an awful card on the turn, such as pretty much any queen, any jack, any ace, any heart, any 9. There's a lot of cards I don't want to see on the turn if I raise and get called. So I decide to just jam all in for $1,600. Yes, a massive overplay here, but I mean, I just want to take down the dead money. I would take down about $400 if everyone folds. And I mean, he could still call. You never know. Yes, again, an overplay. Yes, I understand that you should be raising to 600 to 700, but just wanted you guys to understand where my head was at. The next player folds, and the initial raiser actually thinks about it for a long time here. I rolled the clip for this entire time, and he just decides to fold, obviously, but he thought about it for a really long time, and at 10-10, you can run the board twice, so I actually almost thought about verbalizing we can run it twice, because I did feel like he had ace-king or any heart draw, and he might be very confused by me saying that, thinking that I'm on a draw myself. So I actually think if I said that, he might have called with ace-king, king-queen, and if we ran it twice, I could have won over a $3,500 pot, but just wanted to show you guys this. This was the next hand, and I'll put up my session results next. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, just wrapped up my session at Parks, driving home. Very happy with how today went. It's very intimidating at some of these 10-10 games, as most of the people are sitting with $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in front of them. So when I buy in for just $1,200, it's a little bit intimidating, but very happy with how I played. A lot of standard spots today. Didn't get any rough spots. Finally, we book a win. We are in for $1,200, out for $2,110. So we make $910 in just about 4 hours. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. It definitely was an entertaining video. A lot of crazy hands, to be honest. That 7-8 of clubs hand was just ridiculous. I would have bet you my life that I was not going to win that pot when it checked around on the river. But wow, crazy. Definitely help me out. Send this to any of your friends that play poker. Leave me a like, drop me a subscription to be notified when I post next. It takes me about 6, 7, 8 hours to edit these, so I appreciate any support, any love you guys give me so I can keep making this content. Hope you guys have a great day. See you next time.